Okay. Come on. Hello and welcome to today's live event, Opportunities for International Students at Nottingham Trent University. It's my pleasure to have with me today, Hannah and Rishi. Hannah, Rishi, thanks you for joining me today. Okay,
thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Okay, my name is Sunday Okafor. I'm a current PhD student at the University of Alabama, USA, and an alumnus of Nottingham Trent University, UK. So it's my pleasure to bring up this event to share information for international students who are looking for study opportunity in the UK, and also to know what is available at Nottingham Trent University for them. So I will allow Rishi and Dana to introduce themselves, tell us what they do at NTU and everything, the works they are doing for international students to explore various opportunities. So Anna, please, can we meet you?
Hi, so I'm Anna Taylor. I've been working in the International Development Office for more than 10 years now, and I head up the Africa team. So my role is to support the team in supporting applicants to the university, supporting those students that come through our scholarship pathways like Commonwealth and Chevening, and looking at what our focus for recruitment should be in these markets. So I've had a fantastic time over the last 10 years working with students from Africa in particular, some fantastic times in Lagos myself. So feel free to ask me any questions or find out more. And I would like to pass over to my colleague, Richie.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Richie Lee. I also work at Nottingham Trent University in Anna's team. So we work to support students from Africa. So we support with the whole process. So right from when you first make an inquiry to study with us, you're discussing what courses you want to study, all the way through your studies with us. And even when you've graduated, we stay in touch and support you with the next steps as well. So we're really happy for you to join us today. And we're going to tell you a lot more information about studying at NTU.
Thank you very much, Hannah and Rishi, for that introduction. For our audience who are watching us online, I welcome you all, and feel free to ask questions as we proceed. We'll take your questions accordingly, so don't worry about that. All your questions will be attended to by my wonderful guests today. So before I want to start with a brief presentation about NTU, the school community, and what you should be expecting if you decide to study at NTU. So I will allow Rishi to go on with that presentation. Thank you, Rishi.
Thank you very much, Sunday. Just let me know if you can see the presentation when I begin sharing. So it should be sharing now.
Yes, very clear.
Perfect. So welcome again, everybody, and welcome to this live event on Nottingham Trent University. So you can see here an image of the university. So this is probably the oldest building on our city campus. This is our Arkwright building. So you can see that Nottingham has some really traditional architecture. But as we move through, you'll also learn lots more about what Nottingham is like as a place to study. So Nottingham is in the heart of the UK. So London, Manchester, Sheffield, Leeds, York, Oxford, and lots of other major cities are all within 2 hours of Nottingham. It has a population of 330,000 approximately, and in the most recent figures that we've got, over 70,000 students in the city itself. So it's a really vibrant place to study and really convenient in terms of exploring the rest of the UK as well. To reach London, you're talking around an hour and 45 minutes roughly by train. So it's really close. It's a direct train to London as well. So it's a really great place to explore more of the UK culture in general. So in terms of the city, as I mentioned, it's an energetic city where, you know, there's always lots of things going on. So it is a very it is a university city, so there's lots of activities going on for students, whether you're interested in kind of sports or music or shopping, and there's lots to do, and lots of also kind of parks and recreational spaces around as well. So it's a really nice place to study. The city centre is quite compact, so you'll easily find your way around within around a month of being there. You'll know where everything is, but there's always something going on. So in terms of the awards at NTU, we're really proud of our achievements. So we did win University of the Year in 2017, 2018, and most recently in 2019, which was in the Guardian University Guide. We've got an 86% student satisfaction from the National Student Survey in 2020. And we were awarded gold for our teaching and learning by the TEF. So that means that you're getting the very best outcomes from your university experience. We're also in the top 5 most sustainable universities in the world, which is something that we're incredibly proud of. So moving on to our city campus and back to that image of the Arkwright building. So if you're on this campus, you really are in the heart of Nottingham city centre. So if you've got your lectures or a seminar, you know, you're around 2 minutes walk to the shops, restaurants. So it's really convenient if you need to go and grab some lunch. In terms of the courses that you would study on our city campus, it's for our Nottingham Business School, the School of Art and Design, Architecture, Design and the Built Environment, Nottingham Law School, the School of Social Sciences, and the Centre of Broadcasting and Journalism. Moving on to our Clifton campus, this is outside of the city centre, so it's around 15 minutes, but there is a very regular bus. I think they're around every 10 minutes between the Clifton and the city campus. So it's had a lot of money invested in it. So a lot of money invested in the facilities. It's got everything that you could possibly need on this campus, like accommodation. It's got a library, it's got cafe spaces, it's got social spaces. But the courses that you would be studying on the Clifton campus are those in the School of Arts and Humanities, the School of Science and Technology, and the Nottingham Institute of Education. And last but not least is our Brackenhurst campus. So this is around 40 minutes outside of the Nottingham city centre. Also has a regular bus service. As you can see from the picture, it really is a stunning place. So it's in the heart of the countryside. It's in acres and acres of land. And this is where all of our courses related to animal, rural and environmental sciences take place. So even if you're not studying on the Brackenhurst campus, would definitely encourage you to go and have a look. There's lots of animals there, and it's also got you know, all self-contained facilities as well, such as accommodation, library, student support, and local amenities as well. So in terms of what you can do outside of your studies, NTU really does offer a truly global experience. So we have students and staff from over 150 countries around the world, and we regularly run activities and events across the academic year. We do offer international scholarships, which we will talk more later about in this live chat. And we also have a celebration in order to celebrate the achievements of those scholarship winners. We have a global lounge on our city and our Clifton campus, and that's a space in which our international students can go and they can kind of kick back. It's a place to meet friends. They can take part in activities and events such as the Language Cafe, and you can also get free tea and coffee generally. So it's a really nice place to go and chill. We also offer the Global Week, which is something that happens every year, and it's a chance for you to showcase your culture and your country. So we invite students from all over the world to get in and showcase something special from their country, whether that's you know, a famous food or a special dance, but it's a really interesting place to learn more about different cultures. In terms of sports and societies, NTU is one of the top 15 universities for performance sport. For those of you that don't compete at a high level, you can do lots of sport that is play for fun. So, you know, there's no special expertise or level needed. You can just go and join in those sports for fun. But there's also over 100 societies at the university. So whatever you're interested in, you can continue that passion at NTU, or you can look at opening your own society if it's not yet available. So in terms of our support, we're really committed to supporting all of our students. So we are a winner in the THE Awards 2020 in our outstanding support for students. We offer a wide range of support such as academic, financial, dedicated international student support, individual support, and support with health and well-being. And as you can see on the picture, we have lots of student ambassadors as well, so they can support you with any questions that you've got. But in the first instance, you can come to the Africa team, for example, like myself and Anna, and we can point you in the right direction and offer you the support that you need. So employability. So many students will ask the question, can I work while I study? Yes, you can. You just have to check, generally you have to check the visa requirements on your visa, but for most students you can work 20 hours per week in term time, and you can work unlimited hours during the holidays, but you just need to check the requirements and the terms and conditions on your visa. The best way for you to look for jobs, part-time jobs, is to go into shops and restaurants and hand out your CV. You will need a national insurance number to start employment in the UK, but that is something that you would look at further down your journey once you've applied to study with us. We do have a dedicated employability team, and they can support you with things like your CV, self-marketing materials such as LinkedIn. They can support you with interview practice, but they can also help you in finding a part-time job, a graduate job, or a placement, because many of our undergraduate courses and postgraduate courses offer a placement option as well. So that was a very quick roundup of what it's like to study at NTU, and I'm sure Sunday and Anna have got lots of other experiences and insights that they can offer as well. But if you want to contact us at any time, please feel free to contact us on the email address that's on screen. It's africa@ntu.ac.uk. In the picture, you can see our Africa team. So on the left-hand side, we have Wale Ibukun, who is based in Nigeria, in Lagos. And we have Annabelle Mitchell, who is our Senior International Officer. You've got Anna Taylor in the middle, who is joining us on the call. We've got Katana Vera Howe, who looks after Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Malawi, and then myself on the right-hand side. So we all support students from across Sub-Saharan Africa. So any questions, please feel free to contact us. And I'll hand back to you now, Sunday. I don't know if you have anything that you want to add or any questions.
Yes, thank you. You can stop sharing your screen now. That was
no problem.
That was a wonderful presentation. Very short and filled with a lot of information. When you talk about the society, I could remember vividly when I joined NTU. I wanted to, to join the chess club. Yes. So I like playing chess. I wanted to join the chess club, and I was told, oh, chess club is no more active at the moment. That would I like to start it as a new society? So after thinking about it, getting information about the requirements and what I need to do to start it, I actually went ahead and started the chess club at Nottingham Trent University. And I was so proud to be able to establish that. And we started having meetings, and the numbers started increasing every day, and before I left, I handed over to someone, and it was a great experience for me to start such a club at NTU. So thank you so much once again, Rishi, for that presentation.
No problem.
I appreciate that. Okay, we'll go next to a question I have here. You've talked about basically almost what we want to talk about today. You have touched it a bit, but definitely we'll be going into more details in some aspect of it. And first thing here is about scholarship, because mostly international students, they always look out for scholarship, which schools offer scholarship, what type of scholarship are available for them to explore, and all that. So I know at NTU, there are a couple of scholarships, fully funded, partial funded, tuition reduction, and a lot of that. So I would like Anna to, to break down the different type of scholarships and also the different organizations that partner with NTU to provide scholarship opportunities for international students. So thank you, Anna.
Yeah, no problem at all. So starting with NTU scholarships. So NTU scholarships are something that we have an influence on. So Team Africa is able to pitch what we think is most suitable for the students or the applicants that want to join us. So we're really passionate about making sure that the most suitable students get some sort of fee reduction. And that's how it works. Our scholarships mean that students will say if their fee is £15,000, if they've got a £3,000 scholarship, it would be reduced by that point. So that's how our scholarships work. Now, our scholarship scheme is something that is visible on our website, so students can go and refer to see what scholarships are available. So there's two types within NTU scholarships. There are school scholarships. So this is where academic schools, so the business school or the law school, really want to draw some of the best applicants to their courses. And they offer usually up to 50% against the tuition fee of the course. Now, they will be looking for students that are able to demonstrate strong academic skills that are related to their course, maybe work experience, and those sort of things. So the academic schools really want to find students that are the highest achievers because they want those best students in their courses. So we have school-based scholarships that you'll be able to find on our website. We are looking to see where we can further enhance some of our scholarships this year. So we might be looking at like a Law Africa scholarship. So our NTU scholarships haven't actually been announced yet. So we're in the process at the moment of deciding which scholarships will be best for next intake. So you will be able to see all of those updated. We also have country-based scholarships. So for example, we have the Nigerian High Achievers Award, the Ghanaian High Achievers Award, and this is where students who have an application for a postgraduate course or a master's course, if they've got a 2-1 or over, will be able to apply for this scholarship, and it's almost like an automatic deduction. So again, we want to draw the best talent to our university. So to join one of our master's programs, you may need to only have a 2-2 classification, but if you have a 2-1 and you're applying for one of these countries and you've got residency, then you can apply for one of these scholarships as well. So that is really beneficial. It means that a lot of our students are eligible because obviously we're drawing students who have those kind of backgrounds. We also understand that there will be some students that maybe their academics may be more like a 2-2, but they've got a fantastic work experience, extracurricular activities, they might have charitable experience and things like that. So students like that still potentially be eligible for a scholarship. So we have the International Development Office Scholarship, and this is where students answer key questions in relation to the course, their suitability to NTU, what they'll give back, why they'll be a great ambassador for NTU. And this is where students can really shout about all of the extra stuff as well as their academics. So this is really important too as well. We also have sports scholarships. So if students are really high standing in their sports field, then they can contact our university and we will get them in contact with our sports team, and there might be sports scholarships as well. So if anyone knows that they're playing at national level and it's a sport that we really want to encourage at the university, they can contact Africa team and we'll be able to get them in contact with our sports scholarship team as well. So as a university, we're really trying to draw the best talent to the university and to support lots of different scholars. As well as getting a fee reduction, it's not just about that. We see that these students are part of some sort of community. So we like to, traditionally we had a scholarships award evening. This year that's been a bit trickier because of social distancing and rules, but we still put on a fantastic virtual event where students networked with each other from different countries, shared their experiences, what the scholarships meant to them. So we see this as really important. And we sometimes do events for our scholarships winners as well, where they can meet our team, go out and do different activities, like join our volunteering activities and things like that. So it's not just about getting your fees reduced. We really want to make it something more than that for our students. So there are scholarships. Now, traditionally, our scholarships are tuition fee scholarships. If students are looking at a higher award and potentially having their cost of living paid for as well, then it's probably good to do some research on some of the government-based scholarships. Now, we link in with the Evening Scholarship Scheme, and we also link in with the Commonwealth Masters Award. Now, these are two schemes that the UK government run, and essentially the best way of doing research on these two different schemes is looking at their websites. Their websites will give you the information about their application dates, what they're looking for in scholars, and application process as well. So you have to apply to that scheme and also make an application to our university. And if those two match up, then potentially you could be a scholar through the Evening or the Commonwealth scheme as well. So there's a variety of different funding opportunities for students that want to come to the UK and also NTU. Richie, have I forgotten anything?
I think you've covered everything there, Anna. I think it was good as well that you put across the point of talking about those extracurricular kind of activities in kind of scholarship applications, because I think that is so important as well. It's not just always about the academic, but also looking at the individual as a person and their kind of achievements outside of studies as well. So yeah, I think that would be the only thing that I was going to mention in addition.
Yeah, absolutely. Cynthia, do you have anything that would be worth me clarifying or further explaining?
Okay, thank you very much, Anna, for that very clear stated scholarship informations, especially when you talk about the extracurricular activities and the sports scholarship, which of course I'm just hearing it for the first time, you know. Yeah, so probably because I'm not a sports kind of person. I never look into exploring sports scholarships, but that's a very fantastic one, because I know here in University of Alabama, there are a lot of sports scholarship, a lot of students coming through that route. And it's good to know that such also exists at Nottingham Trent University. And also when you talk about the, students that have work experience, voluntary experience, charitable experience, and all that can also be eligible for scholarship opportunities. So I want to ask if there are specific routes, because most of this information might not be directly stated on the website, right? So if students want to, look into such opportunities, how can they get in touch with the school?
And so is that they want to do those opportunities whilst at NTU or demonstrate those as part of their scholarship application?
Yes, for instance, someone that wants to apply for the sports scholarship, for instance, I remember you saying that they get in touch with the international office first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we have students that have lots of charity experience or work experience, then all of that can come across really clearly on the scholarship application form. So I think when people are looking at the scholarships available, if they firstly look on our website, they will see all of the different awards. So say if you're interested in a master's in business, I'd look straight away and I'd see available is the school scholarship. And also there is the IDO Scholarship Award, or the International Development Award. Now that's actually one application form, but we assess it. We assess it and the school assesses it as well. So you don't have to do multiple application forms. It's all quite centralised as well. Also, if you know you've got a first in your degree classification, it's worth letting us know as well, because you might be eligible for one of the high achievers. If you've got fantastic experience, you can demonstrate that on the scholarship application form. So one of the questions kind of draws on your experience. So it's like, what have you done? Why has that made you who you are? And so all of those different things. And we see some really fantastic examples from our applicants of working on sort of HIV camps, working on charitable events, women being really empowered to help other women. So all of these kind of things are really powerful, and we want to be able to read about these and think, oh, this isn't just a student that wants to do a master's in business, but they've got lots more about them, and they'll be a future sort of leader. The Commonwealth and the Chevening scholarships as well, that's really important as well in those applications to look at the criteria. So I know Sunday, you probably got some experience as well, but sometimes they say you need 2 years of work experience. You need to be able to show how fantastic a networker you are. So I think my biggest tip for anyone that is looking at funding or scholarships is don't rush it. Look at it early in the application process. Don't miss those deadlines. Don't think I'm going to do my application one day before the deadline, because actually, if you think about it, that piece of paper or that evening could be worth thousands of pounds. So you really need to give it the time and consideration that it requires. Don't leave it to the deadline date and throw it in late. With our scholarships, we have multiple scholarship application dates as well. So some of our first dates mean that you could find out a few months after your application. So then you know that you basically have that scholarship really early on in your application process. Then you know that you can do all your other preparations, you can meet your conditions, you can finalise your exams, and you don't have that worry about tuitions and fees and funding. So probably the biggest tip, research the website, the criteria, and also don't leave it to the last minute. Give it the time and the consideration it needs.
Thank you very much. I basically understand that scholarship application is a lot of work. And, last week I did a section on Chevening scholarship where I have some scholars talk about the process of application and, all the necessary things they need to do. And from my experience of, winning the Commonwealth scholarship at NTU, I know it takes a lot of time to, to write up the essays and to submit a good application. So that shouldn't be strange to anyone that wants to get a scholarship.
But you'd be surprised, Sunday, because we get lots of applications for students that don't come, and the quality of the applications is really poor. We still, until recently, had handwritten applications. People printed it off, handwrote it. Spelling and grammar is terrible. Instead of Nottingham Trent University, it says Nottingham Trent University. And imagine if I've got, I don't know, 150 applications to assess with my colleagues. If, as an assessor, I would get frustrated straight away if you can't get the university name right, you haven't answered the question fully, you have said something that actually, if I check your application, isn't true. So if someone says, oh, I got a first in my first year, sometimes I just check. You sent your application, your academics, let's see whether that's true. So be truthful, be honest, and be accurate in applications. And then that will put you in a really good situation for hopefully being successful in one.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very clearly. So on the next question here, I remember when I applied to NTU, I didn't have to provide any proof of English proficiency or test, maybe IELTS. I didn't write that. So what I used was my my O-level WAEC results, credit in English. So a lot of people want to know which countries are eligible to use such certificate, or maybe medium of instruction, because most countries in Africa, especially the West Africa, they are taught in English, right? So once you are taught in English, are you eligible to use medium of instruction or maybe your O-level result as a proof of English proficiency?
Almost, but not quite. So
okay.
Because we're going to be issuing a document that allows you to apply for a visa, as a university, we're saying that you've met a standard level of English. So what we have to do as an institution is review qualifications and see whether they're comparable to as if you'd studied in the UK. So if you come to the UK, are you going to be able to understand the lectures? Are you going to be able to write to a high standard, and all of those kind of things? So what we do, and this is something that Richie and I are doing at the moment, is we have to review a lot of country qualifications. So as you said, WIAC is one of the ones that we understand is comparable to the UK. And so, Richie's just posted it on this forum, so we can share it after as well if you can't see it. But basically, we've gone through each country, and we have said what level you need, what qualification you need. So there is a large number of qualifications we can accept. Richie, do you want to say some more, because you assess more applications than me nowadays? But
Yeah, so I mean, we do accept, like you said, Sunday, like the WIAC, and the WASI in Ghana as well, and the NECO. So we can accept those ones, provided that the score meets the requirement and is high enough. There are some courses where it may be an exception, for example, like journalism, but for the majority of courses, we can accept the WIAC as matching the IELTS 6.5, for example. And for other countries, for example, Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, we do also accept in-country qualifications as well, so high school qualifications. So that makes it very, much easier for a lot of students to be able to use their high school qualification as their English language proficiency. It means they don't, a lot of the time, have to go on and take an IELTS. In some instances they do, but you can check on that website for all of the different qualifications. So there's a drop down that says qualifications by country. So you can go to the country in which you took your qualifications and check. But yeah, basically there's a lot of different qualifications that we can accept. For the WIAC and the WASI and the NECO, we will just also require a scratch card in order to verify the WIAC, for example, as well, just to verify that result. But yeah, I think that's all I've got to add on that one.
All right, thank you very much. That's very clear. I've posted the link to the chat box for everyone participating to go through that. Yes, of course, I remember sending a scratch card for my results to be verified. So that's okay. Thank you for that. So next question, I want to ask about students who wish to study on self-funding, because there are a lot of other students, probably they have applied for scholarship and they don't get it, and probably they have some fund they can invest into their studies, or potentially there are people that can afford to probably pay their tuition, then look out for job opportunity within Nottingham where they can use that to keep up their everyday living expenses and all that. So how does the school support students who are self-funded on getting on-campus job or probably off-campus jobs? So I'll allow Rishi to answer that.
Yeah, so in terms of self-funded students, obviously the first thing that they need to be aware is that they would need to first cover the full tuition fee for the course, but they also do need to meet certain requirements in terms of the visa as well. So they need to show that they will be able to afford to cover maintenance, for example, for the duration of their studies, such as accommodation and food, etc. So when students are looking for a job, we do advise that they also need to be able to meet that maintenance prior to having a job, because of course, although there may be lots of jobs available, there's no guarantee that they'll get here and get a job immediately. So they do need to meet those visa requirements in terms of the monetary side of things as well. So although I can't advise specifically on the visa guidance, we will be able to post you a link that you can share Sunday on the live chat as well. So I'll find that for you in a moment, and you can share the kind of specific visa requirements. But in terms of jobs, definitely approach the employability team, because they post jobs in the employability kind of space on campus, but they also post them online. I would recommend that you check other job websites as well for local jobs. It really depends what the student is looking to go into and how many hours they want to work and what kind of part-time work they want to do. But in the first instance, I think the best thing would be to go and have someone check your CV, make sure that it really shows that person and their skills and their achievements that they've got so far. But they really should go back and approach the employability team for support with interviews as well, because it may be very different to what they've experienced, for example, back in their home country. So we can really prepare them in the best way possible to make sure that they've got the best chance of success.
Thank you very much for that.
No problem.
So, because I remember when I was at NTU, I had a Commonwealth scholarship, so I don't need to work basically. So that covers all my living expenses. So but still, I get a lot of job notification from the employability team, and I was there a couple of times, to review my CV, and they were so helpful in doing that. So I think the basic thing I would add is just once the student gets to NTU, if you're able to prove of course, you have to prove that you can support yourself financially before you can get a visa. And once you are at NTU, there's a lot of support from the employability teams on information to, how you can get a job and all that. Yeah. So thank you, Rishi, for that. Okay. On the next one here, someone is asking, I think let's just take this question. Do they offer courses related to climate change? I think the person can go and check the website, but let me just ask, the person is asking, does NTU offer courses related to climate change?
We offer, well, it depends what level. So we've just signed off an undergraduate course, which is specifically about the area. But we've got an LLM, so a master's course, which basically is touching on energy and climate change. So it depends really on what their specialism is, whether it's more like geography based or law based or business based. So if they've got any questions, they can look on the website or they can email us and we can see what their fit is for a course that we do offer.
For someone asking if you want to get more information and you can't find it on the website, you are free to mail the international office and they will be so glad to provide you with further guidance on that. All right. So, okay, thank you. So okay, let's go to the next one I have here. For students who want to get job opportunities after their studies, for instance, especially now that the UK government has approved a 2-year work after study. So I want to ask, what strategy does the school have, to support students in transitioning into the workspace after their study? I'll allow Anna to go on that.
So I suppose to answer your question accurately, and the schools would tell me off if I didn't emphasise this, but we're a really practical based course. The way we deliver our courses, we try and make students have all of those employability skills. So if you're doing one of our programs, you won't just be sat having lectures and reading textbooks. There'll be lots of practical experiences, lots of real life work experiences. So for example, within the business school, they get companies to come in with real life issues that they've got. So it could be a HR resourcing issue, it could be a budgetary question, and the students actually have to work through those examples. And if you look on our website, you can see that we've got law courts, we've got trading rooms for business students, we've got state-of-the-art laboratories, and students who, for example, will be doing biomedical science won't be doing examples, they'll be doing real life research. So our courses are designed to give students those skills and those opportunities whilst they study. Also, as soon as students start from their first term, they will be getting those emails that basically explain to them how to get a graduate role. Now, we understand that a job working in a supermarket or working in a restaurant is very different to those sort of roles that people want once they've graduated. People have invested a lot of money in their master's program and they want a master's level role responsibility at the end of it. So our university networks with a huge number of companies, both within Nottingham and the UK and further afield into Europe, looking at being able to place those students. So we'll have major companies coming onto campus, meeting our students, trying to explain what jobs are available, how to apply, what the application process is for some of those roles. Now, if you want to work for one of these like top 500 companies, your big banks, your big construction companies, they have application deadlines that are really early. So our employability team support our students to understand about how to apply. It's almost like applying to university again. There's different processes and applications. It's not just of submitting your CV, you have a whole process to go through. So we support students with all aspects of that. You might come to the end of your studies and you might not have found a job, but our support doesn't end there. So we support students, I think it's up to 2 years post-graduation. So if a student, for example, finishes their course, they've thrown all their efforts into getting a fantastic grade and they need a bit of a breather, then that's fine. They can come back a few months later and get that expertise from our employability team on what roles and jobs they can get. So whilst it does start as soon as you arrive, that support doesn't end as soon as you've got your degree certificate. We are there to be able to give advice and guidance. And we have careers-based teams that have school speciality. So for example, if you want to have a job working as a lab technician or a lab researcher, to get into that career is very different to getting into the construction industry or to the trading market. So we have dedicated teams that network with those specific employers that know how to apply, what skills and attributes employers are looking for. So it's a really tailored experience that you'll be getting. And it's not just you'll come in, it's just look on a website. It doesn't work like that at all. It's more about finding out about you, what you need, and the best advice that we can give. Saying that, we've got a huge database of resources online, but we also understand that people need that individual counselling and support as well. So it's huge. Universities invest a huge amount of money in trying to get their graduates jobs, because if students don't get jobs on graduating, no one wants to come to the university. The number one question we get asked within the recruitment team is, where have your alumni gone? And if they're all working in fast food chains 24/7, then there was no point in them doing that master's qualification. So it's all about is trying to get the best jobs or the best education for our students. So it's so key to all of us.
Thank you very much. I think that's very, very detailed. I remember during my time at NTU, there's this job fair that's usually held I think in October.
Yeah.
Right. So I was opportune to attend to before my graduation because I started in September. So the next month was a job fair. Of course, I wasn't ready for any, just new student. But the second one in October was quite interesting because a lot of before then there was this employability workshop where you go to, they take you through the process of different stages of interview, CV reviews, and all that. So to prepare you for the job market, and during the job fair, you can interact with a lot of companies, employers, and all that. And I was able to get a lot of information. Just that I wasn't ready to to jump into the job market at the time because I got a couple of offers even on the day of my graduation. I got an award as the best student um, in my class. So the day of the award, it's a company that were present at the award was kind of ready to give me an offer job. But basically, for Commonwealth Share Scholarship, you are expected to return to your home country. That was part of the deal, because basically the essence of sponsoring you is for you to contribute to your country's development. And I don't want to, do anything that will breach that agreement. So I couldn't take such offers at that moment. So, but for students who are self-funded, who are, come on their own or got other scholarship like the school scholarship, higher achiever scholarships that doesn't have to deal with any clause attached or something. So they are free to explore these fantastic opportunities available at the school. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Okay, so someone is asking for undergraduate students. Does the school offer any scholarship for undergrads? Because I think most scholarship we've discussed is basically for master level, PhD level, for instance. But for undergrads, what are the available scholarships they can aspire to? I will allow Rishi to go on that.
Yeah, so much like Anna mentioned earlier, a lot of those, it's the same kind of process. So we have the international scholarships that we look at as an international development office. There's also the school scholarships, and there's also specific undergraduate scholarships where they may get a tuition fee award on each year of study. So it goes up in different stages, basically. Obviously, we can't talk in lots of detail because they've not yet been released for the next academic year, but that is the way that it generally works. And the application form is the same. So they would need to answer, for our NTU scholarships, for example, they would need to answer 3 questions about themselves. And it's really about showing who they are as a person, their achievements, and really showing passion for the course that they want to study, and also why they want to study at NTU. So one of my top tips would be to really, research into NTU and what it can offer that student. We really want to know why you want to study with us, and what that course is going to mean for your future as well. So I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, Anna, in terms of undergraduate scholarships.
Not really. It's something that we're really passionate about, because obviously we understand that undergraduate recruitment, undergraduate studies, is a very expensive endeavour for students and parents. So it's something that we really support, and we try and get good scholarships for our students. I think if you have got anyone that is considering undergraduate study at NTU, then do let Richie or I know, because we know that they sometimes need an extra level of support before transitioning to the UK. Coming to the UK at 18 is a big life decision. So there's many things to consider, things like accommodation, what support you get, all of those kind of things. So yes, if there's anyone interested, we support all of our students, but we really try and give like gold level star to our undergraduates, because we just know it is such a big choice to come when you're 18 to the UK.
I think as well, Anna, we talk to a lot of parents as well.
Yeah.
So, we're always happy to chat to parents and do kind of virtual kind of one-to-one meetings as well. So if they've got any questions, we want them to feel and know that we're always here to support them, and point them in the right direction. So, we can work with parents as well in terms of helping them with that process.
We have got some parent ambassadors almost. So
yeah.
There are people whose children have all come to NTU, and they know that their children had a fantastic opportunity. And it's funny saying that, because at 18 you individually feel so grown up and ready to conquer the world, but as a parent you think, oh, you're only 18, and before you were in my home 24/7, I knew exactly what you're doing, and now you're going to another country. Are you going to get the food? Are you going to get the support? Is it going to be too cold? Like, there's so many questions that you might have and might consider. So we understand how key it is to support parents as well through the journey. So yes, we've got parent ambassadors that are happy to share what their experiences of sending their children abroad was.
Thank you, Anna and Rishi, for that detailed information. Okay, I want to know, because some student has been asking me, excuse me, some prospective student have been asking, does NTU accept HND, Higher National Diploma, for master program? What is the minimum grade requirements when it comes to qualification? Is it just the BSc, bachelor's, or they can accept higher national diploma?
Is it from Nigeria? Do you know which country?
Yes, from Nigeria.
Yeah, so from Nigeria, we do generally require bachelor's to go onto a master's course. We can consider the high national diploma, but it's usually for advanced entry to an undergraduate course, so maybe starting an undergraduate course in year 2 or 3. We don't usually accept the HND to go directly onto a master's, but we would always encourage any student that is unsure about what to do to email us at africa@ntu.ac.uk, because they may have other things that they've done in terms of like work experience that we may be able to consider. And they may have other qualifications that we consider. So we really do look at each individual applicant on a case-by-case basis, and we can then advise them as to whether we think they would be eligible for that course, or point them in the direction of other courses that they may be interested in.
Okay, that's very well detailed. africa@ntu.ac.uk, right?
Yeah, I'll share it for you.
Okay.
That's just the team that Richie showed before, which they were a fairly small team, but we make sure that we ask for students to email that mailbox, because then we know they'll get a quicker response. And it's people that are specialised in understanding the qualifications, the language requirements, and those sort of things. So it's always best to email that email address than our standard university email addresses.
All right, so thank you for that. Someone is asking, because I could remember there's this PhD scholarship that is usually available for international students. I got that notification to apply. Was it last year? So
was it the Vice Chancellor's PhD scholarship?
I don't know. Maybe there might be multiple ones, but I know there is one that covers like it's a full PhD scholarship. Student, will I call it scholarship or studentship or something like that? Yeah. So I don't know if you have information on that right now, or you can provide the links to that later.
Not at the moment. So at the moment we have historically run a Vice Chancellor's PhD. I think it was called scholarship. It might have been called studentship. They always have slightly different names. So that was a fully funded one. So it was quite unusual. Or in some cases, I think it was up to the home tuition fee. And for international students, they just had to pay the difference between the home and the international fee. Some schools paid the full amount. I don't think it's been announced yet for this academic year. So as I said, we're going through that review period at the moment to see what we're offering. So it's just worth visiting our website. If there are PhD scholarships, even though our team don't administer or specifically support PhD applicants, we will signpost you to where it is on our website. This year we were taking applications for the Commonwealth PhD Award, but I think that's closed for this year now.
Okay, so apart from the Commonwealth PhD scholarship, the Commonwealth Master Scholarship, and the Chevening Scholarship, is there any other scholarship that NTU partner with external body, that government or non-government organization, to offer to international students?
It's usually that we will get a student that has some funding themselves from a government organisation. So we do get students from departments within, say, the Nigerian government, or and they will say, oh, probably because they're working for that team, that they're given a sponsorship. So it's kind of, the sponsorship comes from, say, the Nigerian highways agency, and they say, I'm going to sponsor you to do this course. So what we have to do is establish whether we can accept that sponsorship. Now, most of the time we can, but if it's a new sponsorship letter, we just have to make sure that we can trust its integrity, that they're going to pay on time. We have historically had some sponsors from overseas that haven't paid for their students. So they provided a letter. It's quite easy to say, here's a letter, I'm going to fund you. But then when the poor students get here, they don't actually send the funds, and that's heartbreaking for us, because we have to say to that student, unless you can fund yourself, you have to return back home. And in many cases this was targeted to students that would have never been able to afford this without some sort of scholarship. So we have to check that we are happy that the sponsor letter is genuine, that the sponsor is someone that we can work with. So yes, we do get students who have established their own sponsors. And again, if you've got any questions about whether we can accept that sponsor letter, let us know, and we will do our research, talking to other universities to see whether they accept it. Sometimes we speak to the UK High Commission to say, are we able to accept this letter and this sponsor? And we do our research, and then most of the time we can say yes and we can accept those students.
Okay. Okay, so that's
We are
it.
constantly working to new sponsors. I'm not saying that we're not trying, but they're always changing. I don't know whether people on this call will see, but we'll establish a great relationship and there'll be a change of government or there'll be a change of team, and then suddenly their focus is on something else. So historically, we had some fantastic government sponsors, but then new teams come in and then they change their sponsorship. So we don't publicly promote those sponsorships. It's down to the students to try and establish those themselves in those cases.
Yes, I quite understand that when it comes to external sponsorship, apart from the Commonwealth body, the FCDO, which of course is quite stable. It has been stable for many years now. So, but when it comes to external bodies, I know in Africa, basically, most of the time when the government come in, some policies, they might not, proceed with such policies, and probably the students have started a program and a new government just came in and, and decided not to sponsor the student anymore. It has become a very big issue in many schools, apart from UK, in different countries around the world, where students couldn't proceed with their studies because a new government came in and decided not to acknowledge that sponsorship. I think it's very important that students do their due diligence, and also but sometimes they can't control how these things happens, and
oh yeah, sometimes it's absolutely out of the students' control. So a few years ago, a number of students had their offers overturned, and it wasn't anything that those students had done. It was just a change in government policy and things like that. So we did a huge amount of support for those students. So I think the key message is do your research, but if anything does happen whilst you're studying at the university, something that you never thought was going to happen, contact our international student support services and they will do everything they can to support you. So if there's a family issue back home, or you feel like your studies aren't going as well as you thought they were, maybe you're struggling with some of the academic content, don't keep it to yourself. Speak to your school, speak to the International Student Support Service, or just speak to one of them and they will sort of talk to the other teams, because the earlier we find out, the earlier we can help people. Sometimes people let it start impacting on their work, and as soon as you take more and more exams and then you start failing, it's a harder journey to make any change. Whereas if people are finding anything tricky, just come to us, and we've got so many levels of guidance and support. So counselling, academic support, English language support, financial guidance, so many things that we can offer students. And really, it's so key to us to help people, and never feel ashamed to come and speak to us. That's the key thing that we want to get across. We're here to help people, and we want students to graduate with the best qualification they possibly can have.
I think one of the essence of me having this YouTube channel and organizing this kind of event is to to bring awareness to students, especially from Africa, from Nigeria, from probably different part of the world, is that the experience back home from their country. For instance, in Nigeria, most students doesn't have that good support system when they were undergrad, and having such experience transitioning to schools in the West, sometimes they feel like, oh, probably it's the same. They are not very open to talk to people because they feel like the support might not be there. But from my experience studying in the UK, I realized that any issue you're having, feel free to reach out to someone. If the person doesn't know definitely they will refer you to where you get appropriate support, to make sure that you get the best out of your study. I think that is very important, that students should know that There is support for anything you are going through. You are not alone on the journey. There's always people who are there to support you. So thank you for that wonderful information. I think we've exhausted all the questions. We've touched virtually everything that we need to touch today, and provided a lot of information for students. I will encourage anyone who is watching and have further questions, feel free to send an email to africa@ntu.ac.uk. I have posted that on the chat box, and they will be so happy to support you and to answer your questions. I want to appreciate everyone that joined on this call. I don't know if Rishi and Anna has any final word to say before we come to close.
I was just going to say thank you for providing us this opportunity to explain more about the university. We really appreciate it, and so it's been so nice connecting with you again after your studies at NTU. And so yeah, we are here to help. That's what Richie and my role is, to help people. And so if you just need us to signpost you to the right information, you've got any questions, just let us know, and we'll try and guide you through the transitioning to the UK in the easiest possible way.
Thank you very much. Rishi, do you have anything to say?
I just want to echo what Anna said. Yeah, so thank you, Sunday, for hosting us. It's been really good, and thank you to everybody that's joined today and connected and asked questions as well. We just want you to know that we're here to support. So again, contact us on that email address. But we also want you to be excited about studying with us. So take a look at the website. There's virtual tours on there where you can explore the campuses in more detail. Have a look at the courses. Have a look at the scholarships. And if you've got any questions at all, no matter what question it is, just be in touch with us and we'll be happy to help.
Yeah, NTU Instagram is pretty good. So, and that also has great reminders for application deadlines and scholarship deadlines and things like that. So I'd really recommend, is it NTU International for the...
I believe so, yes.
Yes,
so yeah,
I think so.
If you've got, have a look through there, and it's really useful for an engaging content, and you will see current students, you will see lots of activities, events we're doing and things like that. So it's worth a look.
And finally, I would like to say that NTU or Nottingham City is quite an affordable city to live in, right? So for students who are coming in as self-funding, or you want to manage your funds, you're looking for a city where you can be able to save, they have a very good transport system. The bus system is very fantastic. I remember when I was studying there, I used the bus throughout for 1 year. I was staying in an apartment that has a 1-year bus pass. So I used the bus, the Nottingham city bus. So that's what I use. And I remember doing my research, my final dissertation on how the bus system can be improved. And the bus system is good, but one thing that fascinated me was when I wanted to do that study on to explore what the customers, the users think about their perspective about the bus service. I reached out to the Nottingham City Council. I reached out to the Nottingham City Bus Company. There's another bus company. I can't remember that.
Trent
Burton, yes. Yes, we had a couple of meetings discuss about the study, and they were so supportive.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's good. I thought you were going to say they didn't want to hear about it.
Just within when I launched my survey, my questionnaire, in less than 2 days, I was getting over 1,000 responses.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It was so amazing,
No wonder you got a good grade. Your data was so huge from your...
I got over almost about 1,005 responses within
really good.
less than 1 month of launching the survey. And I think that was why I got the Best Student Award, because of my dissertation. Yeah.
I do think you made a really good point there, Sunday, and I know we're on our closing, but Nottingham is a great city. I'm from Nottingham originally, and I just think it feels like a safe, happy city. There's everything that you would want there. If you want to have food from home, our colleague Vera just recently went to one of the supermarkets and got all the traditional food from home. Or there's amazing restaurants, Italian, Chinese, like everything. So it depends what experience you want. It's all there. And as Richie said, we're not far from London. As a student, you want to explore where you are. Also, go to Scotland, go to Wales. These are beautiful places to explore as well. You've got the opportunity.
I was in Scotland, Edinburgh. After my study, I just went around. Was in Manchester. Went to London, the Great Bridge, all that. So it's a great place to study, and there's a lot of attractions, especially the city center. Oh, whatever you need is at the city center,
Yeah.
And
there's even a beach in the summer.
and fortunately, the city campus is just located at the heart of the city center. So there's a lot of side attractions and everything. So thank you very much for being on this call today. I appreciate, and I want to thank everyone who joined us online. If you've not subscribed to the channel, do that. That's how you keep supporting the channel to keep bringing up this kind of events and more. So I appreciate everyone and thank you for your time and have a good